Hello and welcome to episode 37 of my Salem tutorial series. This episode is going to be on some of the things that we need to pay attention to that are needed as we grow and expand our characters. Just a few things to keep you updated really on what I'm doing off the what I'm not showing you in the video, so you're able to stay up to date if you wish. First of all though, I want to say a thank you again to Sergey for finally making me realise about not having to drag and drop items, but simply by holding the left control key and simply rolling the mouse wheel, or sorry, the left shift key and rolling the mouse wheel, we're able to add items to whatever it is we're making. Thank you, my friend. It is always very noble of people to share what they know, so I can pass it on. Thank you very much, Sergey, for that. Always lovely to see a comment from you. Right, let's demonstrate what Sergey has said by building ourselves another compost heap. Now, as you can see, I've been building some more traps, expanding the fields. They will just keep growing, as you will see. As the series progresses, you will see more and more cotton fields. Now, we'll soon start to acquire lots of cotton seeds. Do not throw them away, as they will be excellent in a future episode that I'm going to show you. We're going to use them, and I'll give you a clue. It's got something to do with turkeys. Anyway, so that's another episode, but it is a good one, I can assure you. Yep, my inventory looks a mess, but that's okay. All will be explained as we go. So, the first thing that we're going to do then is I want to demonstrate what Sergey has told us, because it's very good, useful information. So, let's show my claim. Let's bring up the landscape tool and let's highlight where it's going to go, which is going to be just there next to these other two. Okay, and so we'll position ourselves just about here and make ourselves this compost bin. Now, I've shown you how to make one in the past, so this is just to demonstrate what Sergey has said. So I'm going to pull it just there. That's how far apart you have to space them, by the way. So let's build it just there. Now, what Sergey has said, each time I keep clicking and moving to click it in. That's not necessary, and it must be a pain for some of you to watch. Instead, what we simply do is hold the left shift key down and scroll the mouse wheel. Do you see how it adds the components? And see how I've forgotten to make the four plugs. Well, that's all right. I'll do that off camera. Main thing is I've shown you what it is Sergey said. So providing you have the items in your inventory, you just hold the left shift key and scroll the mouse wheel, and it will auto add the items for you. And that is just fantastic. So you can see how much I appreciate what Sergey has told us. There we go. Let's just put that together. As your fields expand, as you get more and more fields, you'll need more compost bins to cater for them. The compost bins not only give us the useful compost, but also, of course, common earthworms, which we will be utilising as well as we grow for other uses. For now, though, that's demonstrated what I wanted to show you. Okay, now, with all this cotton farming, you can see that we're starting to bulge with silver. You see, if we go into my inventory, you will see that the purse we made, the snakeskin purse, only holds 750 silver. Now that we're doing cotton farming, we're going to get lots of silver, so we will be bulging with it, and we don't want to be bulging with silver. So my dear pilgrims, it is time for us to upgrade our purses, as we are now officially becoming money bags. So let's go to town and upgrade our purse. And yes, I do want to show you, I know I've been there before, but let's just remind you of where it is you go to upgrade your purse. And also we can look at the purse that's after that to see how much money we will need for it, and how much silver it will carry for us. This purse we're going to buy, the next upgrade I believe is 300 silver, but it will hold 2,500 silver. So you can see a nice big leap. And we always want to keep our silver in a purse, because if we get knocked out, oops, let's turn that down. If we get knocked out by a creature, you do not lose your silver if it is in a purse. So to buy this purse, we will walk around the town square like so, avoiding any diseased corpses, because we don't want to get diseased, because we haven't got a mask yet, which we will get, but when we've got quite a bit more money. Okay, now the purse vendor is this guy over here who says clothes. We're going to right click on him, and if we scroll down the list, you will see that the purse we want, oh, it's 350 silver. It's the merchant's purse. So as the name suggests, we're becoming rich. Anyway, let's have ourselves one of them. Right, okay, so we've got our new merchant's purse. So what I will do is first I will take the money out of it. Do that by just right clicking on the purse. Oh, that's it, it's empty. We got our money out. Put that over there. Equip our new purse. And now we can drop all our... You pick up your silver and right click it on the purse. So there we are. We can now fit room for 2,500 silver. Let's take ourselves back to our claim. So there we are, nice new purse. That will now do us for a little while at least. Although trust me, as our cotton fields keep expanding, we will soon outgrow this purse. As for this purse, what do we do with our snakeskin purse? We give it to one of our alts, of course. Always keep the items you outgrow and just pass them on to your alts. So there we are, we've got a nice new purse. And like I say, as our fields keep expanding, we will get more money. Notice I keep my token nearly topped up full and I'm still getting lots of silver. So there we are, that's the way for you to go. Next up, we are heading for turkey farming. That's what I said a little while back, that's why we learnt beekeeping, but it's like the road to cotton. In the new world, you will see that if you want to achieve anything, it takes many different skills, time and other sorts of resources. Now what we must do is we must start to focus on our humours to knock one or two in our humours if we're going to be able to knock out a turkey or two. Okay, now notice that all my humours except for the black bile I've got to 20, my blood I've even got to 21. The reason for that is we are now trying to get our humours to 25. That's our next objective. In order for us to be able to get a little respect from turkeys so they don't laugh at us or cluck at us, we need at least 25 yellow bile and 25 health. Health just so we've got enough in case things go a bit wrong, and 25 yellow bile is the most important though. That's the one we need. Okay, but getting the biles up, our humours up, is not all that is necessary. We first need to learn the appropriate fighting skill. So if we bring up the skills window, the fighting skill that we're going to need in order to be able to do turkey farming is the fast moves. Now, you'll notice in order to learn this skill we need 1500 cloak and dagger, 1500 law and law, and 1500 sparks and embers. So first of all we will need to raise our cloak and dagger proficiency, because you will see it's only on 1300. So but we only need to raise it once, so all is not that bad or lost. Okay, now in order to raise our cloak and dagger proficiency to 1500, we're going to use flaming pine cones. Now you can use crow feathers, but they're only 200, so they don't give you enough. And you can use the savage charms that we've been making and selling, because they give you 1000 cloak and dagger. But I'm going to presume that you've been selling them all. You haven't got none left, although I did say to you a while back to start saving them. But I will presume that I waffle too much and you may not have heard me say that. But again, I will remind you, start saving your savage charms. You do not need to sell them anymore. You will be making ample money from cotton farming. Save all your savage charms and put them in a storage container. Okay, because we will be needing them later on for the perennial philosophy that they give us. That's what we're going to be using them later on for. So there we are. What we're going to use though, in order to get our cloak and dagger up, is flaming pine cones, because hopefully you have them in abundance. Now my fire should still have plenty of fuel, which it has. Okay, so let's get to getting our cloak and dagger to 1500. So we're going to create a flaming pine cone. There we are. I will now study this and get what we need. Notice we get 400 cloak and dagger from it. So let's study. And one more. Let's raise. There we are. We're now in a position to learn fast moves. In order to learn fast moves, we are going to use 3 tastes of the wild, which will give us our sparks and embers, and also lore. And what we're missing with the lore, we will use stray chestnuts. First, let's quickly study that, because we need as well flaming pine cones to get our cloak and dagger back up. The flaming pine cones will give us sparks and embers, but we still need the lore and lore. That is the reason why I'm going to be using these a taste of New World as well. So let's study them. Let's eat. Wait for our black bile to get back up. Study some more. And again. And so that's our sparks and embers, but we're working on our lore and lore. So we need now 300 lore and lore. So 2 stray chestnuts will give us that. Okay, so our lore and lore is done. Our sparks and embers is done. Now we just need the cloak and dagger, so let's light another pine cone. Okay, there we are. Let's now study that. Let's eat. Let's study some more. Okay, so we need another one. I may as well study both of them. I don't want to waste them. And one more. Actually, first, we will now buy fast moves. That has now given us the combat skill we need in order to start getting turkeys. We do not want to kill turkeys, we only want to knock them out. And to do that, we will first use Ball Run to stun them. Once they're stunned, we will then use our roundhouse kick. Oops. What I wanted to do was drag it. Our roundhouse kick to soften them up. And then we will use our uppercut to knock them out. Once a turkey's knocked out, you will see that we can then pick them up. Anyway, let's study that. Just because I didn't want to waste it. So there we are. These are the 3 combat skills that are going to enable us to get turkeys. Of course, we need a turkey coop before we start getting them. But it's all preparation. So we're now prepared fighting-wise, skill-wise, to get ourselves a turkey. We still, however, need to get our yellow bile to 25 and our blood to 25. Okay. Next up, so it's all well and good me telling you about getting your humours to 25. As you can see, I've got some of mine to 20 and one to 21. But let's guide you in how you can get them to your humours up to 25. With my humours, notice that I've left my black bile on 15. The reason for that is because people mention that if you let a humour lag too far behind the other humours, so more than 5, that you get a big penalty to raising that humour. So what I want to do for this series, so you can see what I want to show you what happens. So I'm going to raise my phlegm, my blue bar, my blood, the red bar, and my yellow bile, the yellow bar, to 25, but I'm going to leave my black bile on 15, and then we're going to take a look at how difficult it is to get that to 20. So we'll see the penalties that we incur, just as an experiment, just so you can see, so we all know what happens if you do that. Right, now for raising these 3 humours, all 4 in fact, there are different foods that you can use, hence why I've got all these foods in my pocket. So let's go over the different humours and how you can raise them. We'll start with phlegm, the blue bar. The best way to raise phlegm, as you can see, is with garlic rabbits. They will jump it up nice and quickly. If, however, your phlegm is still very low, then you can use acorns. Now the question is not if we can use them, but if I can remember where I put them. I know, here. Okay, so you can use myrtle oak acorns. Notice they give you 5 points. Might not sound like a lot, but trust me, that's a good way to get your phlegm, your blue bar. That's a good way to get it to 20. Post 20, I'd recommend really using garlic rabbits. As you can see, it's a cinch with garlic rabbits. You can kill rabbits, so you can make garlic rabbits, and that will get it up nice and quick. As for the blood, your red bar, I use a combination of cranberries. As you can see, they give 5 points, and garlic. You can see they give 6 points. And of course you can then mix the foods. So if you start to gobble and you get the penalty 50%, then you can switch to garlic to get the rest of what you need. So that's raising your red humour, your blood. For the yellow, for the yellow bile, your yellow bar, you can eat roasted pine nuts. They're the most effective. As you can see, they give 8, between 8 and 10. And I've raised a number of my alts to 25 in yellow bile, just using plain old roasted pine nuts. So that's how you can get yours to 25. So that's the 3 to 25. Now, if you do want to increase your black bile, because, you know, there's only one idiot round here, and that's me. That's why I'm the one who's going to do the experiment. But for the rest of you that wants to raise your black bile, you can choose either blackberries, cunningly enough. They will give you between 5 and 6 points, so that will get you to 25. Or you can also use these lavender bluets that you can pick out in the wild. Notice that they give you 7 points across the board for whatever you're gobbling. When you gobble these, they give you 7 points to all of them. So you can actually use these for all of the humours, but there's no telling, because they're all the same, there's no telling which one it will actually increase. So the best thing to do is eat some blackberries, so that gets your black bile 3/4 of the way, and then just eat 1 bluet. You can also use berry salads. If we go into the crafting recipes, into food and into berries, you will see that the berry salad only needs 1 cranberry and 2 other berries. Okay, so you could use 2 of these blackberries, and that will give you, you'll notice, between 7 and 13 for your black. Although I tell you now, possibly better off just eating these singular, because you can see 2 of these will give you between, if you eat 2 of these, that will give you between 10 and 12, whereas eating 1 of these will give you between 7 and 14. So you're better off really just eating these, but the choice is yours. So there we are, that's how you can raise all your humours up to 25. Not a major problem, and we've not even started to really touch the surface of food in Salem. I mean, we're still eating nuts and berries. Alright, we are eating slightly better with our garlic rabbit, but there's all sorts of wonderful foods that we're going to be getting to. Don't ask me what episode, that's in the future, but it's a good future. Now, to give you a few other pointers. Okay, that's your humours. Raise them all to 25. Start to get to at least 30 cotton fields, so we can start to call you money bags. Because if you've got to 30 cotton fields, then trust me, you're starting to make good money. Okay, so get 30 cotton fields, get 3 compost bins, get at least 4 shellfish traps. You're going to see why I'm telling you to do all of this in the future, because I want you to have a grind-free playing experience of pure fun in Salem. You make the money, you then start to open the game wide open. And so in order to keep up with the fields, that's why we got the compost bins. We're going to be doing turkey farming eventually, so all of this will come into play, and it will make our Salem lives much more enjoyable. There we are. That is, I mean, there's probably other things, but I don't want to waffle on too long because I don't want to upset you all. I want you to enjoy my Salem series. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Goodbye.